Hey y'all. Well, I guess some of y'all might think that's a sign of spring, but not so much. Y'all like mustard? That is a flowering mustard. So in those will be the little mustard seeds, and believe it or not, that's actually where they get mustard from. It takes millions of those to grind it up. But these are some mustard greens that we planted in the fall that I didn't thin out. We've used a few of them, and I've been known to even grab a leaf and eat it right off of there. Kind of spicy, as old as they are. I've got another batch growing out there. But goodness, this cold or damp temperatures, I won't complain, but I will make an observation. There's 2 seasons in February, I'm sure, or in Texas, y'all have heard, summer in February, and we're in March now, and it's still a little cool for around here. Got plenty of rain, but these few early crops that I've planted sure need a little sunshine to come on up through the ground. I've got another batch of mustards popping through over there. I did have to reroute my tomatoes and plant seed starts and all that out of the greenhouse, even though it's protecting it from freeze. It's just not warm enough. So I've got an impromptu area there in one of the spare rooms of the house that is providing a little heat, and things are already popping through, thank goodness. In just 2 or 3 days, they just needed some heat. But here we are, March 2nd, and can't help but acknowledge Texas Independence Day in 1836. Shoot, I guess it was last month, about 1836, old Sam Houston was prowling around these East Texas woods and drumming up some support for the new Republic of Texas they intended to make happen. Of course, we also know that and obviously it was a battle cry, and really the summation of just getting tired of it that made those folks stand up at the Alamo. I think it ended up about 200 against 2,000. We all know how that ended, at least that battle. But they'd been pushed around for quite some time and kind of avoided the battles, and finally took a stand, and it became a rallying cry. Old General Sam made quick work of it down there at the Battle of San Jacinto. I think it took him 18 minutes to take care of business on that deal and captured old Santa Anna. Mexico pulled a stunt, kind of like a company. If you're up on top of the ladder working, heard the old joke, if you fall off, you're fired before you hit the ground, so you can't sue. Well, that's what Mexico pulled on them, and pretty much declared Santa Anna in absentia, I guess is how you say it. So they didn't recognize our new republic. It took us a few years, for those of you that don't know Texas history. It took us a few more years to really, even though we declared it, they didn't recognize it. And it took a little battle with some help from our other United States to finally get that done. But we celebrate Texas Independence Day around here just the same. And pretty proud of this old state. It's been a funky week. Y'all ever have one of those? I know y'all have. Hadn't been on much this week, been cold and dreary, and job I worked for had some road bumps with that, and just made me realize how jaded folks are, and got some personal connections that are really going through some trials of life, and with sicknesses and family issues and just despair, and kind of been holding on to all that. I'm kind of empathetic that way and letting it get to me. But I got to thinking, it kind of like this old cup of coffee. Not arguing about whether it's half full or half empty, but you know, those problems are kind of like coffee in this cup. You can hold it. I can hold it up for quite a while, just like this. Doesn't really feel that heavy. But if I stood out here for an hour or two and just held it up in the air and held on to it, I guess it'd start kind of getting a little heavy. Maybe even numb my arm a little bit and not feel very comfortable. If I stood out here a couple of days or longer and just held it up in the air, pretty sure it'd be so heavy I couldn't deal with it. Kind of paralyzed me a little bit. Might even numb my arm to the point of dropping it by force. Guess life's little problems are like that, aren't they? If we hold on to them and concentrate on them, they might not be heavy at first, but they start paralyzing us and kind of getting us down. So I guess we need to go ahead and drink that problem or that coffee and get rid of it, right? And just kind of had the blues this week over some of that, and kind of realizing it this morning. Upset that my tomato plants hadn't sprouted, and little old bitty things, right? You just start letting them compound on you, and it gets too heavy to hold, so you just got to let them go. Or do something about them if you can. So I did, and now we're sprouting in there. But maybe y'all think about that this week as we navigate all this mess around us. Let's not hold on to it. Find some good around us. Go celebrate some joy and just a little sprout, maybe. Or a smile that you can give to somebody. Let go of the cup, right? Well, that's another one. Y'all, me and my sister have had several debates over this, and of course it's how it goes. But what is it, 115 years today as well that Mr. Cat in the Hat got started on his journey. Theodore Zois Geisel. Y'all know him as Dr. Seuss. Yeah, that's how his family pronounced his name, was Zois. Of course, we'd be called a fool if we said that, wouldn't we? I guess it's all in what popular opinion ends up with your pseudonym, Dr. Zeus. But that's another one celebrating it. Well, he's not, but I guess a lot of folks around the country and the world are celebrating that birthday today. But anyway, that's a little trivia. Hope I didn't ruin your perception of that. Don't go call him Dr. Zeus. That was for his family, so unless you're family, you can stick to the old Dr. Zeus. Or Seuss. Anyway. Y'all have a good evening. I'm going to head on over to Huntington. We'll run a little late. I'm going to visit with Mom and Dad and Kimberly this afternoon and have a little family time ahead of another busy work week. Well, happy Texas Independence Day. Put that coffee cup down if it gets too heavy. Might make it a little easier for you. Speaking of heavy, my old arm is getting heavy from handling this phone. Y'all have a good day. Be the light.